Am I the asshole for evicting my sister and her daughters after they hid my wife's wig and embarrassed her? I want to start by mentioning that my wife is a cancer patient. She unfortunately started losing her hair due to chemotherapy and she's been incredibly insecure about it, her lack of hair in particular. She got a wig and started wearing it. I don't mind it. I 100% support her since she only wears it around family and friends. My sister lost her apartment after a messy divorce and moved in with her twin daughters, 16, almost a month ago. Things been going well except my niece's constant remarks about my wife's wig. They got so hung up on it and kept asking lots of questions about it. They asked to take turns to try it on, suggested they straighten it with the straightener and so on, which was exhausting. They even pressured to see her without it, but my wife was uncomfortable and refused. Yesterday I got home and found that my wife was locking herself in the bedroom and crying. I asked what happened. She told me she woke up and didn't find her wig, then discovered my nieces took it and hid, then urged her to come out so they could see her without it. My wife repeatedly asked them to give it back, but they started laughing and recording. My wife had to lock the door to keep a distance cause they didn't stop. I was fuming. I went into the kitchen and confronted them. They acted confused, but I was able to get the wig back. I lashed out telling them they humiliated my wife and embarrassed her by taking away her wig. They said it was just light-hearted prank, which made me go off on them. My sister got involved and said my wife was just being too sensitive and the girls were just curious to see her without a wig, but she overreacted. I told her her daughters were recording her. She saw nothing wrong in it and said I overreacted as well. I lost it on her too and told her she and my nieces are no longer welcome to stay at my home and they needed to leave. I later let them know about the eviction since they thought I wasn't serious and they started crying, begging that I let it go. But my wife is no longer comfortable around them after what they did. My sister called our elderly dad and he begged that I let them stay and insisted my nieces were just acting like typical teenagers. He offered to speak to my wife but I declined. They've been begging that I change my mind but I kept refusing. AITA? Not the asshole. At all. For fuck's sake, they were recording. They were actively trying to humiliate your cancer-stricken wife. You better evict them. Your poor wife. Holy shit. Edit. Don't let your dad even approach your wife over the phone. Seriously, don't. He'll try to convince her she's wrong and not those horrid brats. Not the asshole. Nope. They fucked around and found out. All the usual things. A prank isn't something that causes someone pain. They absolutely meant to humiliate and embarrass your wife and are cruel, spiteful people, all three of them. Your sister is an enabler. If your father is so upset, her should have them live with him. But, most of all, your wife shouldn't have to live with people who are intentionally cruel to her. You're a good man for standing up for her. Not the asshole. I can't even imagine that feeling you had when you learned what was going on. Not the asshole. They're 16, old enough to know better and to understand that actions have consequences. They disrespected your wife, who is ill and feeling bad about herself, and it's too bad they pestered, harassed and humiliated her to the point they lost a place to stay. Not the asshole. My kids were teenagers once and would never have done such a cruel and insensitive thing. Good for you for doing what you did. Best wishes for your wife's health. They said it was just light-hearted prank, which made me go off on them. A light-hearted prank is not recording someone while they are crying because you are trying to shame that person. Those girls are absolutely being bullies and your wife deserves to feel safe in her own home. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, and let your elderly dad take them in. Not the asshole. I guarantee you a 16-year-old knows not to upset a woman with cancer to the point of tears and laugh and record her while they torment her. They sound literally evil. If your father is so worried, tell him to take them in. I'm sure he'll think it's typical teen things when they hide his walker and laugh and record him while he falls. JFC. Am I the asshole for calling my brother a mama's boy and refusing to apologize for ruining his birthday? My F29 brother M26 and his wife F24 live at my mom's house. Mom tends to get involved in their marriage constantly and my brother lets her. Sil always complains about mom steamrolling her decisions and violating her privacy. When Sil got pregnant, mom got worse. She went out and brought a whole nursery and put it in her room despite Sil having one in her room. Their most recent conflict is about mom pushing to be in the delivery room and Sil saying no. My brother not only is siding with mom but he's making promises to her to keep her happy. Last week we were gathered at mom's house for my brother's birthday. His friends came and asked why Sil wasn't at dinner table. My brother nonchalantly said that she was just being a princess, acting spoiled and immature over everything. I was shocked and hurt on her behalf, so I responded, actually, she's probably just upset now that she's realized that you're a great mama's boy ready to do whatever mom says while ignoring your wife's wishes. Brief silence while his friends stared. He started arguing about how disrespectful I was. He told my husband to say something and my husband just said, "Don't mind me. I'm just a bystander sitter." Dinner got awkward and my brother's friends left early. He went off on me saying I embarrassed him before friends and ruined his birthday dinner. I decided to go home cause he kept yelling. Mom then called demanding I apologize for the rude things I said at dinner, but I refused. Am I the asshole for this? Not the asshole. Glad someone is standing up for Sil. The icing on top is he had mommy call you after he tattled because his feelings were hurt. Not the asshole. Sounds like you gave your brother a brief moment of realistic honesty for his birthday. I can't wait to find out what you get him for Christmas. Not the asshole. I feel for your Sil and it's clear you do too. No surprise your mom is coming to you in defense of him. If he values his marriage, he will move out of your mother's home. Not the asshole. Maybe a better time and place to go about it, though he did publicly shit on his wife, so I guess it's good you gave him a public smack down in the moment. BTW seems clear. Mom wants the nursery to be set up in a neutral place so she can take control away from the Sil and go in there whenever she wants. If it's in Bro Sil's room, mom won't have free access to her grandkid. Also weird to not want to respect Sil's wishes about who's in the delivery room. Can't imagine a time when someone is feeling more vulnerable or when their preferences should be respected more. Not the asshole, but I think your bro and his wife needs to find their own place. Not the asshole. Your brother is indeed a great mama's boy. Maybe the next time ask him if he plans to spend the rest of his life with mom or his wife, because it can't be both. He's destroying his marriage and allowing your overbearing mother to dictate a relationship she is not a part of. I feel sorry for his wife, who seems trapped in a cage relationship-wise. I commend you for sticking up for your Sil who wasn't there to defend herself. Not the asshole. Your mom and your brother are terrible, sorry for that, but apparently that's the way it is, and you were standing up for your Sil. Your brother is the princess here, he can dish it out, but he can't take it. Good thing he has mommy to stand up for him. Good on you for standing up for your Sil. I hope she finds the courage to get out of that incredibly toxic atmosphere. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole for telling my husband's family and friends that he didn't buy the house but both of us did? My husband M34 and I, F31, bought our first single-story house few weeks ago. We both put money towards it and both our names are on the title. Days ago we hosted dinner for his family, my family live in another state, and friends to celebrate this occasion. They brought gifts and took a tour around the house. We had an overall good time till dinner. My husband suddenly started telling the story of how much he sacrifices, how many extra jobs he took and how many years he spent to save for and buy this house, completely ignoring my part of role in it. I was confused. I kept staring at him as he went on about how he found the house and how much trouble he got into to get it. His family and friends looked impressed as he kept saying, "My house this, my house that." I said hold on, and told them that it's not his house, but our house because we both equally saved and contributed equally to be able to purchase it. His mom asked if I was serious and I offered to show her the legal document. My husband looked me shocked and got quiet while his friends and family kept looking at him. He then excused himself to the bathroom for 40 minutes. I had to say goodbye to the guests by myself. He later blew up asking WTH I just did. I said he shouldn't have lied to them in the first place. He asked, what could you have possibly gained by saying what you said? What could you have possibly lost if you didn't? Do you ever think before you speak? I got mad and replied that he was dismissing my role in buying the house and I didn't like that. He was like, "Oh, so you decided to humiliate me in front of my family and friends to appear important? Pretentious much." I found this insulting, but he argued I messed up and ruined his joy in the new home when I could have avoided it. I got tired of arguing so I went to sleep. He has gone radio silence the next day and has been acting upset for days now. What could you have possibly gained by saying what you said? What could you have possibly lost if you didn't? Do you ever think before you speak? Lol. He practiced this speech in the bathroom for 40 minutes and that's the best he could come up with. Not the asshole. Sue, he's fine with humiliating you personally in front of friends and family so long as they don't realize he's minimized your contribution? That's some fucked up logic. Not the asshole, but your husband most definitely is. Bit of an immature little crybaby too. Not the asshole. His presenting the whole thing that he bought the house himself was humiliating you in front of his family. You just set the record straight. If he was being truthful, he'd have no reason to be upset about your reaction. He wasn't being truthful. He humiliated himself by doing that. Not the asshole. By his mother's answer, I can't imagine what other lies he told her about the house or else. Not the asshole, he lied flat out to make himself look more important. He's massively projecting because he's the one who was being pretentious. This is not a good look for him. Also, he's going on the best defense is a good offense tact because he has to know he's wrong, and is hoping that by blowing up at you, then giving you the cold shoulder, you'll just shut up about it and take the blame for his behavior. All in all, this is disturbing. I'd read the verbally abusive relationship, and why does he do that? Because this behavior is manipulative and could get into abusive territory now that he thinks he has you nailed down, buying a house together. Info. What the fuck is wrong with your husband? Not the asshole. He was trying to act all macho and got called out. He wouldn't have been humiliated if he didn't lie in the first place. He's being a baby. Info. Does he have enough saved to buy out your half when you leave his fragile tough guy ass? Am I the asshole for telling everyone that my husband sold all my baby shower gifts? I've, 27. Been with my husband, 32, for 3 years. We're expecting our first baby together. Long story short, my family and friends decided to throw me a baby shower and brought me a variety of gifts which consisted mainly of baby care essentials. I stored everything in the storage area but woke up the next day and they were all gone. I freaked out and called my husband. He didn't pick up, so I waited till he got back. He got back with money in his hands. I told him my baby shower gifts were gone and he said he took them and sold them. All of them: the baskets, books, pajamas, dipper pack, pacifiers, stuff worth $50,100. I asked him why and he said because he wanted to help his friend get his van fixed so they could go on a trip next week. I started yelling at him saying that I needed those things for our baby, but he said we already have a nursery full of essentials, then said he had no choice because his friends threatened to exclude him from the try if he didn't help fix the van. I had a fight with him and he said I was overreacting. I told everyone no what he did and he started getting calls and texts from them basically calling him names and shaming him. He yelled at me saying I fucked up and acted immaturely by exposing him to everyone and sending them after him. He said that is his baby too and he is entitled to half those gifts. He believes I told them a sob story and ruined his reputation. He left and has been staying with a friend, refusing to return my calls till I fix my mistake. I was so mad and probably done the wrong thing. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole, and find yourself a good divorce lawyer. This reads as fake. But if real, not the asshole. This person does not sound like a reliable partner or responsible father. Sincerely hoping this is a troll, because, if not, you are deeply lost if you can entertain even more a minute that you might be the asshole here. He even knows he is the asshole here, or he wouldn't have gone out in secret to sell his family's goods to get parts for his buddy's mystery machine. He just doesn't care. Let him stay at his friend's indefinitely. It's going to be easier caring for one child than two, and at least you have a chance at raising the littler one not to be an asshole. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, half the gifts are his? No. All of the gifts are the baby's. And he took all of them, not just the half he stupidly claimed were his. Your husband does not seem to want to provide for his child. He does not prioritize your family over his friends. He needs to reimburse you for all the gifts and find a new place to sleep at night. He will be lucky if you choose to stay. Info. How exactly do you fix your mistake? Does he want you to lie to everyone about what he did? I'm genuinely curious. Not the asshole. Sounds like you're in a relationship with a 14-year-old boy. And I promise, he's going to stay that way for a long time. He ruined his own reputation. There's no way to spin this that doesn't make him look like a major loser. He didn't want to be excluded from the trip? He's about to be excluded from his marriage and possibly his kid's life. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, leave him, he's absolutely terrible.